moment has come down to, Beverly, which spray do you prefer using? Which spray are you gonna recommend?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those that don't know me, my name is Beverly, and for those of you guys returning, thank you guys so much for joining me today. So as you guys could already see by the title of this video, we are going to be comparing two competitors here, which they are sublimation sprays. I am super excited to be comparing these and finding out which one works best, price point, talking all the details with you guys on how long they took to ship, performance wise, and everything else. So if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. So how this all started, I was just on TikTok one day scrolling through my For You page, and I came across this video with this girl using the sublimation spray, saying that it claimed to work on cotton. And for those that are a little bit confused, let me just fill you guys in. Normally sublimation goes on polyester fabric. The more polyester it has, the more vibrant your picture is going to last, and the more vibrant it will look and perform. So with them coming out with a spray like this, they're essentially claiming that you are able to sublimate on cotton, which is very rare. So I decided, hey, why not? Let me go ahead and test them out. The one that I had seen on TikTok was the SPRAYBRIGHT, the glitter version, but I wanted to first test out the regular ones before I kind of got more into it.
But I was like,
what can I do? What can I do? I want to sit here and do a review. So I decided at the end of the day, I was going to go ahead and get two different brands, the competitors essentially, and see which one performed better, price point and everything, to do a video like this for you guys. So here I am hooking you guys up with a real authentic review, because why not? I like to help people, and if this is something that's going to change our lives, for the sublimators out there that do shirts or anything fabric with sublimation, this is the video you want to be watching. So the first one I ended up purchasing was this one, the Sublimate from the LA store on Etsy. All links will be listed down below. And this is a 3.5 ounce bottle that already comes in the spray bottle, of course. The price on this is $8.95. With shipping, it was $4.70, so total came out to $14.41 for this one. I purchased this on July 2nd, and it actually got delivered to me on July 6th. So processing and shipping time was only like a 4-day turnaround thing, so I thought that was super good. Alright, so the next one that I purchased is this one from SPRAYBRIGHT, which comes in a bottle like this. So it does not come in a spray bottle, unfortunately. It does give you an option, but I just decided to go with this one. And this one is a 2-ounce bottle, and this one I purchased on July 2nd. It cost me $8.95. and shipping was $4 to my destination once again, and total was $13.71. So you do get a little bit less, and they cost exactly the same. Obviously shipping is a little bit different because depending where they're shipping from. And this one I purchased, like I said, on July 2nd, and I received it on July 9th. So it was a little bit longer, but not too bad. Nothing crazy, exaggerating, or anything like that. So I'm not complaining about shipping, because I am a small business owner as well, and I know depending on how their turnaround time is and how hectic it is, I understand. So there's nothing to complain there, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little brief description on all of that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get into it a little bit more and just talk a little bit more about these and kind of like some of my thoughts initially, and then we'll go into the juicy stuff. Alright, so speaking on the SPRAYBRIGHT, which comes in a bottle like this, once again, like I mentioned, I will be transferring it over to a bottle like this so I can just make it easier to apply and spray onto the shirt or fabric, just so everything performs just much easier for me. And this is that. So another thing I did notice is that this one has a little bit less. Like we mentioned, this is a 2-ounce bottle. This is a 3.5 ounce bottle for the same price. And I have noticed something else, that the Subli spray is a little bit more translucent. You can kind of see, and this one looks a little bit more opaque, a little bit more milkier. If you guys can see there, the different consistencies of these both. and that's just something that automatically caught my eye. The different consistencies and the colors in them, they are both meant to do the same thing. So let's go ahead now and get into their description and everything. So for the Sublimate, it is a Sublimate cotton sublimation spray for cotton, essentially for sublimation coating. And it states that Sublimate does not contain polyacrylic. The spray comes in the following sizes, such as a 3.5 spray bottle, which is this one, ready to use, or a 7-ounce bottle, ready to use as well. They do have a 2.8 ounce concentrate that makes 16 ounces of spray. No sprayer included with that one, so it must be diluted with 14 ounces of water. They also have a 2.8 ounce concentrate that makes 16 ounces of spray, and a large sprayer must be diluted with the 14 ounce of water. So they do have an instructional video. Like I mentioned, everything will be linked down below, and it states that this is a sublimation pre-treatment spray for cotton fabrics or cotton polyester blends. You can use this spray to sublimate onto cotton as shown in pictures, which are right here and right here. After spray treatment and completed printing, the fabric will feel slightly stiff. We recommend to do a quick wash in the machine or by hand to remove the stiffness. And it states that the product comes with instructions like we have right here. And it just says this product is only meant to be used with sublimation ink printing. So those are the details and everything of the Sublimate spray from the LA store once again. Now let's go ahead and get into the SPRAYBRIGHT. Alright, so jumping into the description on their Etsy store for SPRAYBRIGHT, it states it's an eco-friendly, non-toxic formula. Again, no polyacrylic in their formula. There's an instructional video as well. SPRAYBRIGHT bonds with the fibers in your shirt and allows the ink to bond with the fibers like it does with polyester. With SPRAYBRIGHT, you can sublimate on 100% cotton and any polyester counts. Even if you have a higher polyester count, SPRAYBRIGHT makes all your sublimation results brighter. And it states the fibers in the shirts will feel stiff until after it's washed a few times. And SPRAYBRIGHT will clog the sprayer. So it's recommended every single time to rinse out your sprayer with hot water after every use. And it states the new concentrate size will have to be mixed, but it will make 1 gallon. It states they have a 2 ounce, 4 ounce, 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, and 22 ounce, and the mix to make a gallon. Our 2 ounce is the size we recommend if you are just wanting to try it out to see if this is a right fit for you. The mix to make a gallon is if you're needing to buy in bulk. Depending on the area you are sublimating on and the amount used, the following is approximate that each size will spray. So essentially they're saying that a 2 ounce will cover for about 5 shirts, 4 ounce for 10 shirts, 8 ounce for 20 shirts, 12 ounce for 30 shirts, 16 ounce for 40 shirts, 22 for 60 shirts, and so on. And it says a mix to make a half a gallon, which is a 64 ounce essentially, makes about 125 shirts, and that is crazy awesome. Mix to make a gallon is about 250. So obviously if you are thinking to be using this product in the long run, you might just be able to get the concentrate and work from there. And then it does say, attention, with sublimation printing, there are several different variables involved to produce the end product. These include the type of printer, ink, and the transfer paper you are using, your heat press, and the quality of the material it is being applied to as well. Results may be depending on these variables. So what they are saying is that everything has to do with ink, paper, and method essentially of you pressing something on. So you do have to take that into consideration when using SPRAYBRIGHT. And the last thing I wanted to cover with both of these sublimation spray shops on Etsy is that the LA store has 5-star ratings, and they also have 6,590 sales on Etsy. As far as the SPRAYBRIGHT, it seems to be a little bit newer out there, so they have about a 4.5-star rating with 943 stars currently up to today's date, which is Friday, July 23rd of 2021. And of course, I wanted to go ahead and just touch base on one last thing before we get into the best part, which is obviously testing both of these sprays out, seeing how they hold up and how they do in the wash and everything. So I was gonna go ahead and read the instructions on how to apply. This is what I received when I purchased the Sublimate spray from the LA store. Their instructions right here on how to use, and just a little thing saying their instructional video, their Facebook page, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get into the how to apply on the Sublimate. So it says, first step, you want to go ahead and pre-press for 330 Fahrenheit, and then 2, you want to go ahead and spray fabric until saturated but not soaked. Press for 20 seconds between butcher paper. Number 3, spray with a very light coat And then 4, press again for 20 seconds. If it's still moist, let air dry for several minutes. And then in big red letters it says, fabric must be completely dry for printing. So number 5 says print, but I'm assuming they meant press your sublimation design at 375 to 385 for 60 seconds between butcher paper, of course, to not have anything transfer over. And also some tips that they did include here at the bottom stated, the more polyester your fabric contains, the more vivid and long lasting your colors will be. Cool washes and hang drying will help preserve the print even longer. If using on bleached fabric, the bleaching process must be completed before using Sublimate and may require just 1 coat of spray instead of 2 like they mentioned. There may be a slight stiffness that can be removed by a quick rinse of fabric. To prevent clogging, please rinse spray nozzle after each use. You heard it here, folks. Use your instructions, listen to what they say, because at the end of the day they are the experts and they will be able to teach us how to use this. And for SPRAYBRIGHT, it looks like it just came with a little label here on the actual packaging of it, so we'll go ahead and read it to you now. It does say, caution, keep out of reach of children, not for consumption, of course, so be very careful around your little ones. You want to make sure it's not around in their reach where they can go ahead and grab. So SPRAYBRIGHT instructions: ready to use, no need to mix, shake well. So you do want to make sure you shake it up, because when I got it, it looked like a lot of it was sitting here at the bottom, so I did shake before obviously use. It says 1, spray only on the area you wish to sublimate. Areas should feel wet to touch. For best results, roll over spray area with a rubber roller to ensure spray fully bonds with fibers. If you can't get a rubber roller, fold sprayed area onto itself and rub hand over the area. Okay, so 2, let it dry completely. Area will feel slightly stiff. This is normal. And 3, press design at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. 4, for any scorching yellowing after pressing, spray with peroxide water mixture, of course. And then the 3 ounce, it says 3 ounce peroxide, 5 ounce water, and let dry. 5, repeat peroxide treatment if necessary. And it does say again, rinse spray nozzle after each use. Spray will clog sprayer. So of course both of them are saying that they will clog sprayers, and they're obviously letting you know for a reason. So if you don't do this and you feel like, why isn't it working, of course you have your answer right there. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. Instructions located in the purchase listing in our Facebook group, SPRAYBRIGHT, and the instructional video can be found on YouTube, here on YouTube. So I guess I can go ahead and touch base with you guys on my midway thoughts through this video before we go ahead and get into the pressing part. I did, like I said, mention I noticed the size. I just really wish this one might have came in a spray bottle, but it was, like I said, it is no big deal. We have one right here that we are going to use, and we're hoping that this one works just fine. Since it does look a little bit thicker, I hope it does work in this spray bottle and I don't have an issue. But if we do, obviously you guys will know along the way. So let's go ahead and get into the fun part. It's pressing time. Yes, it is days later, but I had to gather all my supplies to kind of get this going. So first thing first that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the shirts that I got. They're just plain white t-shirts. They are 100% cotton from the brand Gildan. I will be actually testing these out on some shirts that I want to go ahead and make for my nephews. They are just literally 2 different sizes, but the exact same thing. Another thing that I will be going and using, the sublimation paper that I have is A-Sub paper. This is 8.5 by 11, but you can use any sublimation paper of your preference, of course. This is A-Sub paper. You can't really see the back because it looks washed out in camera, but it is. And I have the images already printed and everything ready to go. They obviously look a little bit faded, but you guys, if you guys already do sublimation, you know that once you press, that's when you get the true results. And I also will be using this BRAYER roller tool and this lint roller to kind of get all the fuzzies off of both of the shirts. And I'll also go ahead and be using some butcher paper linked in my Amazon favorites below. And also I wanted to quickly mention, because I know you guys are going to ask, what printer am I using? What ink am I using? I am using the Cosmo inks as listed right here and below. And I'm also using the Epson EcoTank 2720 printer that I converted to sublimation. So with that being said, I will also be transferring the SPRAYBRIGHT over to this bottle because we need it obviously in a sprayer bottle. And I will be trimming my edges to the images, getting everything prepped and ready to go. And due to the power of editing, I will be right back. As you guys can see, everything is ready to go and prep. We are going to go ahead and start off with Sublimate on the smaller shirt. So let's go ahead and get started through that process. Alright, so getting started, I have my shirt laid out. As I mentioned, this is a 100% cotton t-shirt, and I have the Sublimate spray. So watching their instructional video, basically all she's doing is saturating all in the area where she wants to go ahead and apply her design. And I am just spraying it here in the center area until fully saturated. Make sure no areas are missed. I also seen in the video that she grabbed the bottle itself and she kind of just rubbed it against the shirt. It probably does the same thing as a brayer tool, but I'm just kind of going step by step as to what they recommended. So I'm just literally following their own steps. After that is done, I noticed that they pre-pressed at 330 for about 20 seconds in between butcher paper. So let's go ahead and get that part done as well. And if you notice, all the steam is coming out right here, but I think that is completely normal because it does have liquid inside. So we'll go ahead and just let this 20 seconds continue, and then we'll open it here in about 3 seconds now. That was 20 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and just check the shirt to make sure everything's okay. So it looks pretty stiff, but I mean, that's kind of normal what it shows. Here's the shirt. It looks like it's starched or something, but it is now completely dry, literally, you guys. Check that out. So next thing I did see in their instructional video was to go ahead and lightly spray a little bit more of this all over the area. And of course, repeat the process, putting the shirt in between butcher paper and your heat press. Press down for another 30 seconds at the same 330. Once that is complete, I'm going to go ahead and remove and just bring it out. Make sure everything is completely dry, and it is, like I mentioned, pretty stiff. So I will say, now that I took it out for the second time, I am seeing slight yellowness come up around the shoulders. Not too horrible, it's not something super dramatic, but I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know. I have my image right here, and we are just going to go ahead and put it here in the center. Obviously your image should have been mirrored, so I'm going to go ahead and put it down just right here in the middle of the shirt where I sprayed most of my spray. And I'm just using my heat resistant tape to hold everything in place while this thing is under and pressed. That way it doesn't move any direction. Alright, so I did want to mention that before you go ahead and press anything, you want to insert a piece of butcher paper in between the shirt, and you also want to make sure your shirt is completely dry before pressing. If it is not completely dry, you want to let it air dry until completely gone and ready to go. I'm just going to go ahead and take that same butcher paper. I'm going to put it right in between the shirt, just so nothing transfers over to the back, like so. And grabbing my new piece of butcher paper, I'm going to go ahead and put this over the shirt once I'm pressing. You want to press at 385 for 60 seconds in between your butcher paper as shown. Alright, so this is a grand reveal. Let's go ahead and see, but I first wanted to mention that this is the butcher paper, and this is why it's so important, because if any ink comes out, it will transfer, but the butcher paper will catch it. So this is why it's super important to have butcher paper in between. Sorry that it looks so bright, but this is just my camera, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and see the grand reveal. Wow, okay, I'm not mad at it. It looks super good for it to be cotton, and this is what was left over of the transfer. I did notice I probably forgot to cut some of that border off right here with the ink, so it came through, but that is okay. This is not for sale or anything. This was just simply practicing purposes. And also, this was a butcher paper that was in between the shirt. As you guys can see, some of that wanted to transfer over, but we avoided that problem because of the butcher paper. I will go ahead and say just right now, right off the bat, the sleeve and everything looks a little bit more yellow. So does all the area where we pressed the shirt. I will try to record off my phone to see if we can get a better view of the yellowness around the shirt. And this is using the Sublimate spray exactly how they presented it on 100% cotton Gildan t-shirt. So I will go ahead and give you guys more final details and results after. Now moving on to the next shirt. We are going to be using the SPRAYBRIGHT, which I transferred into this bottle. The first thing it does state to go ahead and do is lint roll, just to make sure you get all your fuzzies out of here, and make sure the spray bonds to the fibers of the shirts, and you want to make sure it is clean, ready to go. They stated sometimes you can't see the little fuzzies, but it is always recommended to do this before you go ahead and spray down and press. So that's what we're doing now. So now we're going to go ahead and start just doing a fine mist all over the area where we want to go ahead and put down our image. So make sure you spray evenly. And moving on with our roller, we're going to go ahead and just slightly spread out the product, I guess, so it can go ahead and bond to the fibers of the fabric. So that's what we're doing now. Alright you guys, so now it is completely dry. Again, it's a little stiff, if you guys can probably see here, but that is no issue. Stiffness is normal. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is just lay out my shirt, and you can see the desired area is covered completely. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip over, and I will be taping this down just to secure everything in place here as shown. Again, what you want to go ahead and do is add a piece of butcher paper in between your shirts. Because it is white, I don't want anything to transfer over to the back, because you guys saw the last one. So let's go ahead and just put a piece of butcher paper in between. And now we are ready to press. This one will be pressed at 400 for 60 seconds. And going in with our other piece of butcher paper, just gonna go ahead and lay it over and press. And there we have it. You guys can see again some of it transferred over. So let's go ahead and see how our design comes out. Okay, same. It looks like the vibrancy is there. There's a transfer. I just turned down the brightness a little bit so you guys can go ahead and see. In the video, she did mention that if you see a little bit of yellowing or scoring, you can go ahead and use some hydrogen peroxide with a little bit of water just to kind of go over that yellow spot and kind of get all that yellow out, and just have your plate of your heat press just kind of over it to get that yellow out. So we'll see. Alright you guys, so these are the final results after pressing both of them. This is the one that we use with Sublimate spray. On this one, I will be honest, it looks a little bit more yellow in person. I will show you guys here with my other camera what I took. Before I actually sprayed peroxide on here, it was super yellow. Now you could barely see the little tint of yellow on there, but it's still somewhat yellow, and you can still see it here at the bottom. And this one, the vibrancy is very similar to this one. I will say this one is not as stiff. This is a Sublimate. As far as the SPRAYBRIGHT, it is a little bit stiff, but they said stiff is normal, so we're not going to judge on that. The yellowness on this one, initially once we took it out of the press, it was slightly yellow, but this one was really yellow. After I pressed both of them, I went ahead and you guys saw I sprayed with peroxide on this one because that was what was recommended for that one. But because this one was just super yellow, after we pressed and followed the steps, I'm like, maybe peroxide will work. And it did, but around the collar area here, it still looks a little off-white, which kind of bothers me, but not too much. So let me go ahead and get you guys side-by-side comparisons of both. This is SPRAYBRIGHT, and this is the Sublimate from the LE store. Let me know which one you guys prefer. But now the real test will be how will it hold up in the washer. We are going to go ahead and wash these as suggested and recommended, and we're going to turn them inside out just to see if it helps any by washing these two. But before we go on, I did want to mention this is a Port & Company t-shirt that I got from Aviva. It is 100% polyester. And this is what normally it should be sublimated on, something that is not pre-treated or anything. It's just regular polyester. As you guys probably could or could not see depending on the brightness, it is super bright and vibrant, and it hopes to stay this way after we wash it. So now that we're in the process of washing these two for the purpose of this video, let's also go ahead and include this one in the washer since it needs to be washed now, and just see the comparison to both Sublimate and SPRAYBRIGHT and of course a t-shirt that has not been treated with anything, and it's already 100% polyester. So let's go ahead and get to washing. So we are back. The shirts are now washed and dried. I will go ahead and let you guys know how I washed them. I turned all 3 shirts inside out. I also went ahead and just did mild detergent, cold water, and a quick cycle, in case you guys are interested in knowing. Now please keep in mind, now that the shirts are dry, they are a little wrinkled, but that is because when I took them out of the washer, they were still a little wet in some areas because they were so like clamped together. So I went ahead and just air dried them for the rest of the time being, because I wanted to hurry up and get this video out for you guys, of course, since you guys have been waiting. All right, you guys, the moment you guys have been waiting for. These are the final results. This is Sublimate versus SPRAYBRIGHT. I will say SPRAYBRIGHT does feel a little bit stiff, as they indicated, and you can tell the vibrancy on this one is a little bit more than this one. This one seems to be a little bit faded, and I completed the steps as they stated. I saturated this one a lot more, I feel, than this, and this one seemed to get a little bit more coverage a lot faster, as you guys can tell there. As far as everything else goes, I think we will have to keep you guys updated as far as the washes, how they do and how they fade. I will have to update you guys in the comments or something. But as compared to, of course, the polyester shirt that I did way off camera, it still is super vibrant, of course, as I suspected. I didn't suspect it would fade because it is polyester, like I mentioned. I really do like it. If you guys see the comparison of this one next to the both other ones, obviously this one is the most vibrant out of all. I really do like them. So there we have it. Basically, we have all 3 shirts that we washed inside out only once, spraying these down with both sprays to test out. So here it is. I know what you guys are going to say. The moment has come down to, Beverly, which spray do you prefer using? Which spray are you going to recommend? Well, after reviewing both sprays, performance and everything, and instructions on how to apply, I will say that I think I'm going to stick to using these SPRAYBRIGHT. I just loved how more detailed they went, and they had a whole YouTube video about it, and I really did like all the steps and the way that it applied, and also the thicker consistency and the more opaque of the product itself. So that is why I feel like it probably had better results at the end because of that. Now, I did mention that they both faded, so if this is ever something that you want to use super last minute, maybe to make a shirt for a specific event or date, and you know that you need it at the moment, go for it. I say try it out, spray it on there, and make memories with that shirt. I don't have an issue with the vintage, like more faded look. I'm perfectly okay with that. A lot of the times people keep the shirt still because the shirt is a shirt and they'll wear it around the house or do whatever with it. So I definitely would recommend the SPRAYBRIGHT, and I cannot wait to try out their glitter sublimation cotton spray. Cannot wait for that. And just to let you guys know that these sprays don't just have to be adhered to 100% cotton, they can also be applied to poly cotton blends as well to make an image more vibrant, so help with the vibrancy. So if that's something that you guys are looking into, you guys should definitely do so, as well as on bleached t-shirts, which are again normally 50-50, 65-45, whatever you guys use. So I hope this lengthy review that went straight up into detail helped for you guys. So in the comments down below, please let me know if you guys have ever tried a sublimation cotton spray, or if you have plans now in the future to doing so, and if so, which one are you going to be purchasing next. So that is it for today, you guys. Please consider subscribing down below to my channel. Hit that post notification bell button to be notified every time I upload a video, and I will catch you guys on my next one. Bye.